I'm always delighted to be with Saul News. This has been such a leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for July 15th, 2022. The Daily Wire reports, the worst overall. CNN analyst says Biden is suffering because inflation is eating his presidency alive. CNN data analyst Harry Enton joins CNN anchor Anderson Cooper to discuss the state of the economy and how that was impacting Biden's approval numbers. And Enton noted that Biden's disapproval rating was higher than that of any other president to date at the same point in his presidency.
Take a look at Joe Biden's job disapproval rating since last year, July of 2022. Then look at it 7 months ago in December of 2021. July of 2021, December of 2021, and now. What do you see? You see his disapproval rating is rising from the 40s into the high 50s. At the same time, look at the percentage of people who say that their top familial concern is, in fact, inflation. Back in July of 2021, a year ago, it was basically nobody who was saying that inflation was a large concern, maybe outside of Larry Summers. Then it started picking up in December of 2021, and now it is the clear number one issue, and we see this clear correlation. As more people are concerned about inflation, Joe Biden's disapproval rating climbs ever higher.
Larry Summers did get it right.
He did.
He was early. How does President Biden stack up against other presidents at this time in administration's past?
So we can look at both Joe Biden's disapproval rating on inflation and Joe Biden's disapproval rating overall. And what we see is his disapproval rating on inflation is topping 70%. His disapproval rating overall is still in the 50s. But if you compare that to every single other president at this point in the first term, throughout polling history, this goes all the way back since the 1940s, he is the worst on both. Wow. And the reason he is the worst overall is because inflation is eating his presidency alive at this point.
During the segment, Cooper noted that according to the most recent data, inflation had jumped again in June, rising 9.1% year over year, and that it was certainly an issue that was at the forefront for a lot of voters, regardless of their political persuasion. An article from The Hill states, Manchin pumps brakes. Bill needs to be scrubbed much better. Senator Joe Manchin on Wednesday pumped the brakes on negotiations with Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer over a budget reconciliation bill, warning that it needs to be scrubbed much better after a new report showed that inflation hit 9.1% in June. Manchin told reporters on Wednesday he's not sure if he can agree to anything beyond the prescription drug reform component of the bill, which has already been sent to the Senate Parliamentarian's Office and has the support of all 50 members of the Democratic caucus. Senator Manchin said the latest inflation report showing prices have increased by 9.1% compared to a year ago means negotiators are going to have to slow down and proceed more cautiously on putting together the budget bill. And finally, Axios informs us, your commute is hundreds of dollars more expensive this year. Rising prices for gas and auto insurance means the average American is now paying $2,914 a year to commute, up $757 or 35% from last year, according to a new report. Rising fuel prices are the biggest contributor to higher commuting costs. U.S. commuters will spend an average of $657 on gasoline this year, up 58% from last year, according to a calculation by a website called Overheard on Conference Calls. New York City takes the prize for the most expensive commute. Coming in at $4,040, this year's get-to-work expenses are 47% higher than last year's, which amounts to an extra $1,290 out of pocket. The 5 cities with the highest percentage increases in commuting costs are Pittsburgh with 60.1%, Philadelphia at 59.9%, Cincinnati with 59.1%, Phoenix with 58.1%, and Columbus, Ohio coming in at 58%. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for July 15th, 2022. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.